Hey y'all, welcome to Paige's Perspective, where I help you find your inner strength to cope with life. So I've been on this thought lately about people pleasing and caring what people think. And it just seemed like a sign to discuss some of my thoughts on it. So remember, this is just my perspective and thoughts on certain things. So do what you wish with it. I feel as humans, we used to be only connected to a small amount of people. Like think of the time before cell phones, before social media, before internet. Many of us lived in a time like that. We were part of small circles. And even before that, we were a part of just a tribe. Our ancestors were just a part of a tribe. So we were part of small circles, like our family, our school friends, maybe a church community. We would go to extracurricular activities, or like I said, even a tribe. We didn't have access to much knowledge outside of these select groups we may have been forced to be around. So as a survival mechanism, I believe that adapting to our surroundings and pleasing people was just what we had to do, because if we didn't, we may have been pushed out of our groups or tribes. People pleasing may have roots in our tribal past, where we may have felt a fear of being ostracized or shamed by the community. We are a social species. You know, we may have an evolutionary need to feel accepted and secure as part of a tribe, which may lead to valuing relationships over personal independence. Now, in our most intimate relationships, we do need to feel accepted and secure, but that happens in healthy interdependent relationships. It's natural to want to feel accepted. We've been told it's wrong to care what others think, but we've evolved to naturally care because we want to survive. It's not a terrible thing unless it stops us from being truly authentic. So how many people fear to speak up on their values because they're afraid they will be kicked out or judged or shunned? It's almost as if we have no choice but to fit in. Here's where things have changed in the world. We have access to so many different outlooks, so many different opinions, cultures, other people. We don't have to adapt to the tribe we were born into. We have options. We have choices. We can go out and find our own tribe. This is one of the best things about social media, in my opinion. We don't need to please people or become chameleons in order to survive anymore. We don't have to learn how to adapt to our environment when we have options. We are learning to be more open-minded and figure out who we truly are by exploring different avenues. Traveling, eating new foods, making new friends, trying new things, hobbies, reaching out to someone you may relate to, learning, reading. When we find like-minded people and surround ourselves with people who share our values, we become more content and feel who we truly are meant to be. We don't have to stay stuck with the values we were born into. We can change our thoughts and people. It's an option. If something you were raised around feels off, it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to disagree. It doesn't mean we have to fight these people. It just means they aren't for us. We don't have to have the mentality of pleasing people any longer because it can make us lose ourselves so quickly. Our people are out there. Your people are out there. We are so small in this world. So small, y'all. Like there are billions of people in the world, and our little world that we live in every day is so extremely tiny. We forget we can be more than what we feel life has dealt us. We either stay stuck, inauthentic, living our lives based on what others want or need, or we shift our perspective and understand we aren't powerless, that we can change our minds. We can go against the grain. We can say no. We can have different beliefs that make sense to us. We can wear fun clothes, even if it's not something the people around us would choose. We can be free to be us. It takes time to not care what people think because it's been ingrained in us. It's almost been forced on us to feel or think a certain way, or, we'd be kicked out of the group, or we may feel like we don't belong anywhere. We may be afraid to rebuild ourselves based on new thoughts and opinions. It means we have to change and look at things differently, which is scary. But is that really a bad thing? If we're kicked out of a group or community or tribe for being a certain way or thinking a certain way, then the group wasn't truly meant for us. There are so many people who we can connect with in this life. We don't have to rely on what our environment has taught us. We don't have to please others to survive anymore. When we live by our true values and who we are, we will find like-minded people. It's scary to break down what we know, but it's so empowering to go against the grain. So I'm going to share a story real quick. I took my kids to lunch at Pluckers recently, and we ordered things that were apparently rarely ordered. The server was probably the kindest server we've ever had. And he told us we ordered things that are typically not ordered. Y'all, we just got cheese fries. No, not cheese fries. It was fried cheese and fried pickles for our appetizers. And the kids ordered Dr. Pepper wings, and I got a salad. We didn't eat everything because it was just too heavy, and we really didn't like the cheese. Anyway, when he told us what we ordered differently than most people, I told him, yeah, we kind of go against the grain. So he asked what we eat at home because I said we don't typically go out to eat. I told him veggies, chicken, and just healthier options. He said, well, you have a beautiful family and your choices show. Maybe I took this compliment too much to heart, but even my kids thought it was great. And I felt like since I gained the perspective of not caring what others think or feeling pressured to eat all my food, since many of us were taught to clean our plates, I have confidence in my decisions, and it shows. I don't have to be stuck because the world revolves around guilty pleasures, drinking, being comfortable with junk food all the time, all the things. Like, I know many people get really frustrated that the world revolves around these things because they feel it would be easier if society would just change. Yeah, it would be easier, but it's highly unlikely to happen. So instead of trying to fight society or even choosing to say, if you can't beat them, join them, we do our own thing. Junk food may always be a staple at many get-togethers. Alcohol will be present in a lot of ways. Unnecessary medications will be prescribed by doctors. So what can we do to make sure we are safe? We can't change these people's get-togethers. We're not going to change people who choose to have alcohol at their get-togethers, or tell restaurants to stop serving alcohols, or tell liquor stores to stop, or tell doctors to stop prescribing medications. Yes, there are movements that do this, which is totally okay. I get that. That's not what I'm talking about here. We choose to go against the grain. We choose to not indulge in the junk food. We choose healthier options or pack our own meals. And if you're afraid that you'll seem rude by saying no to somebody who's offering something, that's on them. It's not rude to choose what you want to put in your body. Alcohol? Okay, choose not to indulge it if you don't want to. My husband, who has been sober for over 11 years, has no issues being around alcohol because he makes choices that are healthy for him. We are big on skills before pills and choose not to take unnecessary medications. You know, I was once prescribed something from the assistant of a psychiatrist for bipolar. I went in there to change some of my anxiety meds because I didn't like how they were making me feel. This was the first time I had been there, by the way. I was just trying a different doctor, and my instincts were like, this seems off. I talked to my therapist and decided against taking these pills that they prescribed me and learned how to cope with life better. I was never diagnosed as bipolar, so it threw me off. They met me once and said, here, take these. Nah, I'm going to go against the grain. And y'all, I'm not telling people not to take their meds. I've just shared my experiences with medication. So take what you want and leave the rest. We're adults here. So we may feel pressure by society to be a certain way, but it's up to us to do what we know is right for us. Go against the grain. It's okay. As long as you aren't harming or abusing anyone, do your thing. So Matt and I do not fit in very well in our community. Like, we're just different. We have different views. We like different things. We just don't really fit in, and that's okay. I'd rather live authentically than try to please others and care what they think just because that's what's been normalized in their circle. You know, my kids are different, and that's okay. My son wore a Tupac shirt on his first day of school, and his favorite color is pink. He will wear a Texas Rangers hat with a Boston Red Sox shirt. He doesn't care what anyone thinks, and it's a beautiful thing to witness. I pack healthy lunches when many other kids are eating candy and drinking soda every day. It's easier to do what everyone else is doing, but it's not worth it in the long run. One of my goals as a mom is to guide my kids to make healthy decisions in their lives no matter what their friends or society is telling them. It's hard. I feel like maybe our kids try so hard to belong, sometimes they end up being people pleasers instead of doing what is best for them. We as parents have a duty to model authentic behavior and teach them how it's okay to be different. It's okay to have different interests and values. It's okay to say no to a donut if someone offers it. It's okay to say no to a gathering you are uncomfortable being at. Y'all, I do eat donuts occasionally. It's about balance. I'm not super crazy. Don't come at me. It's not society's job to make us comfortable and follow our lead. It's our job to live our lives as authentically as possible in a world that may not fully accept us. But the reality is there are people out there who will accept you for you. You just have to find them. It's okay to do things differently and go by the beat of your own drum. You know, my mama used to say, if your friends jumped off a bridge, would you jump too? I say this to my kids and they'll say something along the lines of, I don't know, maybe, depends on the bridge. That's their dad in them. But it always cracks me up and it's a gray area, y'all. So, you know, to phone independently strong, go against the grain. We are spreading a message that is pretty rare. It's really new. It's authentic. It's real. It's raw. It's meant to change the lives of so many people. Yeah, we're criticized and judged, but that doesn't stop us. We believe in our mission and spreading awareness to how spouses are truly impacted by unhealthy partners. If we stuck to pleasing everyone, we wouldn't be authentic and our message wouldn't mean as much to those who truly need it. We stick to our values and what we know based on experience. We share some hard truths that people may not like to hear, but it's necessary. We do this for ourselves as our purpose, but also to help others find their worth again. Learning how to be authentic is part of the process, and that means to not try to please everyone. Once you understand your values and what you stand for, it won't matter what others think of you because you will be confident in yourself and your decisions. There are so many reasons why we are people pleasers or care what others think, and I dive into it a bit in our Independently Strong program, but this is just another perspective I have. It's not necessarily a flaw that some of us are people pleasers. It was meant to protect us, but I'm here to tell you and let you know that it's okay to let it go and live how you want to live. You don't have to follow a rule book or family tradition or what society tells you to do unless that's what you truly want, but find your own path and live by it. Life is too damn short, y'all. And it may sting a bit trying to rebuild yourself because it's new and unfamiliar. You may lose people, but when you embrace the process and the journey, you will surprise yourself on who you were meant to be. It can be a beautiful thing. So that's all I have this week. Until next time, I'm Paige. Bye.